Jayanandalala mathioli Charanam. Last session we did, the previous session we did was Murugan. We started with Parani and we're continuing the Murugan session. Actually, this month is very auspicious. End of the month is Skanda Shashti. And if you're not aware, it comes on October 30th. And I was appalled that I started this with Ambal's grace, you know. I saw that only today morning. And I understood why she made me start the Murugan session. And today we're going to talk about the introduction of Kanda Sashti, what it is, and then we'll finish it off next session. Before Kanda Sashti happens, you'll know how and where it happens, Tiruchendur. So we'll be visiting that in the next session, and you'll be very familiar. If you ever go to the temple and they say we have the Kanda Sashti Utsavam and all that, you'll know what is happening, what they're doing, and the whole story behind it. It's always nice to know, you know, otherwise it's just one event. You go and then you see. It's good. But when you know why it's done and the significance of it, then you enjoy it more. You're like, okay, so this is why such things are going on. This is why that ritual is going on. And when the priest is doing certain ritualistic practice, you'll know exactly why it's done. And you're not going to be in, ignorant. You know, it's okay. It's okay in certain things to be ignorant. But then this is such a, these are our roots. We have to know the reason why it's done. And it's not very difficult. So we have the resources. So here we are. We're going to go over the whole Kanda Sashti from start to finish, like I always say, from the roots, right? So Murugan, Lord Muruga was born to kill the asura Soorapadman. That is the beginning. Now, who is Soorapadman, if you asked? Let's go into details. Who is Soorapadman? Now, there was a king of Asura by name Akira Sena. Now, Akira Sena is this king who has been defeated by the Devas. He had a big war with the Devas and he was defeated. Now, all the Devas had got back what they lost and they won. Now, Akira Sena was very, very disappointed with the defeat of the Asuras and wanted to take revenge on the Devas. So that is when Shukracharya, obviously he has to come in the picture. This is the guru of all the Asuras, right? So he comes and he advises, you have a beautiful daughter. So Akira Sena has a beautiful daughter. She's a Asura also, of course. And her name is Surasai. So Shukracharya says, I will give her all these, knowledge, Maya, the knowledge of Maya, that she can go and achieve what you want. This is what Shukracharya says. Now, Akira Sena asks him, can you please tell me in detail what your plan is? So Shukracharya says, yes, I will. So there is a rishi by name Kashyapa. He is very powerful. Yeah, we all know Rishi Kashyapa, right? And we all know from, he's there everywhere in Shiva Puranam. And all Puranams, he's there. This Kashyapa is a very, very significant name, which we have all heard of. So Shukracharya tells Akira Sena, somehow we need to get Surasai married to Rishi Kashyapa. Then, of course, their sons or daughters will be very powerful. And that way you can defeat the Devas. See how smart minds are working, right? Now Akira Sena is very, very, interested in this plan. It's like, I like this plan. Let's get this moving. So Surase is called and trained and all that happens, and she's given all knowledge of Maya. What is Maya? She can turn into anything. She can turn into a beautiful maiden. She can turn a barren land to a beautiful garden. She can make a pond appear. So this is what Maya is. And when I was going through this, I realized how much illusion we are ourselves are in now, right? Around us is Maya, believe it or not. Everything around us is Maya. I just wanted to throw in that reality. But yeah, back to the story. Maya is all full knowledge and she's ready. So she goes to Kashyapa's hermitage and she finds him in deep meditation and penance. With her Maya, she converts herself into a very beautiful maiden. And she converts that land around Rishi Kashyapa into a beautiful garden. All that fragrance, that jasmine, all those fragrant flowers, they are blooming around Rishi Kashyapa. Couldn't help, but he had to open his eyes. Because all this, the fragrance, suddenly fragrance comes in. He's disturbed. Out of his penance, he's disturbed and he opens his eyes. He opens his eyes to see this beautiful maiden standing in front of him. Through her Maya, she captures him. Now he's totally under her control. That is what Maya can do. This actually is it's so beautifully explained that our Kali Yugam is totally Maya, how much she has controlled all of us, right? How much control she has over all of us. If she can control Rishi Kashyapa, who is so strong in his penance, so focused in his penance, who are we after all, right? Who are we? So her beauty just pulled him like a magnet and he was caught in it. Now, he couldn't help but saying yes to everything. She asked him if he could marry her and if she could marry him, and he said yes. And everything, yes, yes, yes. Now he's married to her and they bore children, just like the plan. Very focused she was. And they bore 3 sons and 1 daughter. Now the 3 sons were Soorapadman, that is the asura we were starting off talking about. First son was Soorapadman. Second was Simhamukha. Third was Tarakasuran. So these were the 3 sons. It's very similar to our Dashamukha story when we were talking about Ravana. Correct? Same thing happened where Shukracharya advised that asuran, that time Asura, the king of Asura, and how Kaikesi marries Sage Vishrava. Kaikeshi was the daughter of the Asura. She marries Sage Vishrava and she bore children. That is the Dashamukha, Kumbhakarna, and Shurpanaka, Vibhishana. We went over this when we were talking about, when we did one of the session, I think Lord Kuberan. That time we went over this because Sage Vishrava is the father of Lord Kubera also. So that being said, very similar. See, this is how great asuras were also born. They had to, the rishis had to play a role in it too. See, that power which Ravana had, the power which Soorapadman has, now we're going to see, is all because of the rishi, the involvement of the rishi. How they're all, sons of big, great rishis. But unfortunately, when you are being advised by an evil force, see what happens. All that power is gone for waste. Now, the daughter is Ajamukhi. We spoke about all the three sons, right? Soorapadman, Simhamukha, and Tarakasuran, and the daughter is Ajamukhi. Simhamukha has a lion face, and Tarakasura has an elephant face, and Ajamukhi has a goat face, apparently. Now, while growing up, Rishi Kashyapa used to give them all good knowledge, how to lead a life with dharma and do good deeds and helping others. All this was his teachings. He told their duties, what they have to do, all the dharma, all the shastras, everything was given to them. And he even narrated the story of Markandeya. Now, we all know Markandeya, right? So how he did penance and for a good thing, for a good cause. So he even taught them penance has to be done not for getting any boons for our benefit, but for the whole community as a whole. So this was taught by Sage Kashyap. Penance is not done for greed, I want this, I need this, I want to be powerful. This is what all asuras have done, right? For their goal to be, met. They want to be powerful. They want to defeat something. So that he taught them. But at the same time, see, the mother plays a very important role in our lives. In both the cases we saw, in Ravana's case and here, Soorapadman's case, a mother. That is why, mother is so important when bringing up. The father is there, but what the mother says holds it's like written on stone. It always stays in the child's mind. Mother is very important. So, but Maya, the mother here, was very focused in what she was, she was there for a reason. She married Kashyapa for a reason. She did not get derailed. So her mission was to defeat the Devas with the power of her sons. Now she told them, no listening to your father. Whatever your father said, delete it. I brought you into this world for a reason. My father was defeated by the Devas. You have to take revenge. That's why you're born. So she nails that every minute in their head. Now they were, obviously, because they spent more time with the mother, they listened to her. They all listened to her, and they all eventually went to do their penance to get their boons. That whatever their mother said, they went for that. But Rishi Kashyapa realized that he was being cheated so royally, right? By Maya. That is what Maya does. Look at the name, Maya. That is what she does. She cheats. Whatever you see is not real. Whatever you hear is not real. So that is what Maya does. And Kashyapa realized he was being cheated. And he said, okay, you all go your own way. I'm going my own way because I cannot see injustice happening in front of my eyes. I'm leaving this minute. And he leaves. Now, obviously, these four of them, the children of Maya, they go to do their penance. So many years. It's not easy to attain the Lord. It is not easy to get the Lord to come when you call them. You have to do penance, and especially when already the Lord knows that you're going to ask something. You think the Lord doesn't know? He knows. So they're doing penance to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva knows what they're going to ask. Lord Shiva knows why they're doing penance. So he'll take longer to come. He has to be really, really pleased. So they did penance for so long. So long. It just went on and on, years and years. Now they were so fed up at one point, they started cutting off their limbs. See, when the asuras have so much power in them and so much of dedication also, but usually the asuras don't have because they are sons of such a great rishi. Even Ravana had that power. The penance power is more when you are the son of a rishi. That's when that patience to wait comes. That they had. Because of their father, they had that. So they started cutting off their limbs and offered it in the sacrificial fire. Even then, Lord Shiva didn't show up. It was like, okay, it's okay, you lost your limb, it's fine. He didn't show up. Now Soorapadman was done. He said, I'm going to give myself. And he jumped in the fire pit and he gave up his life. Now, when all the others saw their brother jump in the pit and gave up his life, they also started standing in line to do the same. Lord Shiva saw that and he immediately appeared. He said, wait, I'm here. What do you want? At last he came. He had to. He had to come. That's the rule of the whole thing. When you do penance, you do sincere penance, I will come. He said that he has to, heed to it. Now when Lord Shiva appeared, he also brought Soorapadman back to life. Now we'll be thinking, why did he do that, right? But hey, you know what? That's good in everything. If Soorapadman was not brought back to life, we won't have Lord Murugan, right? It's beautiful. Anyway, Ella Nanmeki, all for good. So he brought Soorapadman back to life because only his death was written only in Lord Muruga's hands. He can't kill himself. So that being said, he was brought back to life. And obviously he had all his limbs back. And all the brothers were there standing, just astonished to see the Lord standing in front of them, who has brought the brother also back to life. Now they say, I just remember this when I'm talking about this incident, when the Lord comes and stands in front of you, the Lord of the Lords, Lord Shiva himself, whatever you have in your mind, whatever it is, I mean, what else do you need? Right? That's what happened to Ravana at one point. When the Lord came in front of him, he actually said, I don't want anything. We will talk about that when we talk about when we talk about Ravana next, because it's actually very fascinating. Ravana, who wanted so many boons, when the Lord Shiva came and stood in front of him for the first time, he didn't want anything. He said, I'm fine. I've seen you. I'm very happy. That is why he got the title of the best devotee. The best devotee of Lord Shiva. The ardent devotee of Lord Shiva. He got that. The boon was he got it from Lord Shiva himself. You're my best devotee. After all that severe penance, he didn't ask for anything. After that, his mind went somewhere, but just saying, this is what happens to, we learn a lot from these stories. The person is so good at one point and he can turn on the other side any minute. Why? Because he lets his mind to control him. That's what happened to poor Ravana, right? He let his mind control him and he became what he is. Let's see what Soorapadman does. The Lord is standing in front of him. Again, because he's very focused. They're all astonished to see the Lord, mesmerized by his beauty. For a minute, they forget what they want. But then the Lord doesn't want them to forget what they want. So he reminds them. It's like, you wanted something. You want to ask me? The Lord says. So then they say, yes, yes. We don't want to be killed by anyone. No one. Devas, human. So they're covering everything. Because each time the asuras asked, they've made a mistake. So Soorapadman is very, very careful now. He wants to cover everything, check mark everything. Human, anybody. He's like, no one should be able to kill us. This is the boon. But then he's playing a game. This is where he gets caught, He's playing a game with the Lord. It's like, except, he says, except for the son that is born to you alone, not with the goddess, he says, which will never happen according to him. That's what he thinks. It will never happen. He thinks he's very smart. That he said, and then Lord Shiva says, granted. Okay. Obviously, in everything there is a loophole. The Lord is not stupid, right? The Lord is, the asuras, every time they make a mistake when they ask a boon. Every time there is a mistake. So here, again, they made a mistake. So they said, the child born only to you can kill me. Okay. That is why when ego enters the brain, right? When you think, okay, the Lord has said, okay, nobody can kill me. He has said, okay. Now let's show our smartness. That's the ego working, right? Let's show our smartness. Let's try this, That's where the end comes, right? That is where the end comes. When the ego starts working, your end is written. Now they were very happy. Who's happy? The mother's very happy. Maya, for all her hard work. The years of knowledge that she gave her son, they've achieved it. They came with that cup medal. She's very happy. And now they have, they have everything. They have an army. They have everything. This is most powerful now. They can successfully, complete their mission. Now Soorapadman and the brothers began their quest. Soorapadman established his capital at Mahendrapuri in the south. Simhamukha established his capital, Asuram, in the north. And Tarakasura built a capital near Yamagunda. These cities were duly planned and perfected by the divine architect Vishwakarma. So they had Vishwakarma do all this. Now, not satisfied with the vast establishments and kingdoms, now the brothers wanted to invade the Devas. So they went to Indraloka, captured Indra, put him in the prison, took over the Indraloka. They went one by one, Brahmaloka was invaded, and then Vayu, Varuna, sun, moon, name all the gods. They were all taken prisoners. Lord Shiva is in meditation. No one can find him. When he's in meditation, even the Asura can't find him. Nobody could find him. They found all the others. Of course, Vishnu also you can't find. He wants to go Maya, can do. So all the other gods were in trouble, except for Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. Because Lord Shiva has gone somewhere, doing his penance. Now, all the Devas are in prison. So all the remaining Devas who were not yet caught by the Asuras ran in search of Lord Shiva. Because the boon said that only Lord Shiva's son can kill this Asura. So they ran to Lord Shiva. And of course, Nandi was there, right? Nandi. Nandi was standing like a mountain. And they were all like falling at Nandi's feet. Please, please, where is Deva? Please take me to him. We want to talk to him. We want to see the Lord. Nandi was like, yeah, now you need the Lord. Where were you then? He said. So Nandi is talking about an old incident which hurt him more. This is during the Daksha Yagna. Every gods were invited. All the Devas were invited. Except for Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was not invited. We all know the big story of Daksha Yagna, right? So, and of course, Sati Devi, Parvati. She was feeling very bad. But the Sati Devi was attached. She was attached to her family. She was attached to everything. So she told Lord Shiva, we should go. It's okay. It's after all my father. Let's go. Lord Shiva says, no, I can't come. I don't think you should go either. Because you will be really hurt. Don't go. Sati Devi took it as she didn't take it in a right way. She said, no, I have to go. It's my father. If he didn't invite me, maybe he forgot to invite me. Let me go. You don't have to come. So she continued. Lord Shiva says, okay, you go, but I'll send Nandi and the other Ganas with you. So they all went. And there, Daksha did not even acknowledge his daughter had come. He just insulted her by not even looking at her and saying, come. She still did not keep quiet. She went there and she said, Father, I'm here. Why didn't you call my Lord? She says. And then obviously Daksha did again the worst thing, insulting Lord Shiva in front of the whole Sabha, in front of everybody there. All the Devas, Devargal were all sitting there and he insulted Lord Shiva. He called him names. Nandi was so hurt inside. He couldn't do anything because the mother is standing there. Sati is there. None of the Devas stood up and spoke for Lord Shiva. And Sati was so angry. She said, you are so egoistic. You think you're doing this yagna for well-being of yourself, right? I'm going to destroy it right now. I'm not proud of being your daughter, she says. I'm going to destroy it right now. And she jumps into that yagnam. There is a part where Agni Deva, that is yagnam is Agni, right? He doesn't want to burn her. So she doesn't feel any burn. She's standing in the fire and she's not burning. Because Agni Deva cannot burn the goddess. And she orders him. She says, Agni Deva, you have to burn me now. She orders Agni to burn her. And Agni had no other option. He burns her. That is beautifully written, and it just shows how powerful the goddess is. Powerful. And she destroys the yagnam right there. So Daksha Yagna Vinashini is the name she acquired when she did that. Now, why I said this was after Sati gave up, she burnt to ashes there. That's when Nandi, he looked around in the Sabha. Because Lord Vishnu left the spot there. He was not happy with what happened. Lord Vishnu left. The other Devargal who were there, Nandi was so angry with all of them. He lifted his hand and he cursed all of them. He said, you all will pay for this. And that time you will come and fall at my Lord's feet and only he can help you, he said. You will all be imprisoned. You will all pay for this. He said that. And that was Nandi's curse. Because none of them spoke for his Lord. He was so angry. And he left. He left from there to go and give that sad news to Lord Shiva. Of course, Lord Shiva already knew about this, but from there Nandi left. Now, coming back to present. Nandi was standing there when the lords, all of them, come and fall at Nandi's feet and say, please help me, where is Lord Shiva? When Soorapadman had imprisoned all of them. Now you understand why this is coming into the scene. Because of the curse, all of them were imprisoned and they saw this ordeal. They had to see this because of the curse. They all understood when Nandi actually refreshed their minds. They said, they were all, remember that day when you all stayed silent. This is our lesson, Never stay silent when injustice is happening. Speak up. When you see something wrong, you need to stand up and say, no, that is wrong. Let's not do it. This is a lesson. When injustice is happening, you have to stand up or just walk away. Don't, like Lord Vishnu did, right? He didn't want to be a part of it. He walked away. Though he was Daksha's favorite Lord, Daksha prayed to Lord Vishnu. He was a bhakta of Lord Vishnu, but Lord Vishnu did not like when Sati gave up her life. He walked away. And Daksha had to go find him again. It's a different story. When we talk about Daksha, we'll go into detail, but you walk away. But staying there, saying nothing, we see that in Mahabharata also. We see that in so many stories. When you say nothing, you pay for it. And then the Devas were like folding hands. They folded their hands and said, sorry, we apologize. We were stupid. We were dumb. We did not think straight. We apologize for that. Can you please show us where our Lord Shiva is? We want his help. Nandi was very happy. Nandi was Very happy because he wanted that from them, no? The beloved son of Lord Shiva, adopted beloved son of Lord Shiva, right? The most, who can be like Nandi? Nobody. So now everyone ran to Lord Shiva. Nandi showed them the way. They all ran to him. He was meditating, closed eyes, calmness, and all that chaos around him. There's so much calmness. They were calling his name. Slowly, Lord Shiva opened his third eye. And there were sparks of light. Sparks of light. And those sparks came to be 6 babies were born out of those sparks. And goddess Parvati, with her powers, she made all those babies into one. They had those 6 faces, the Arumugam. That's where he gets the name Arumugam. 6-faced Lord. Now Lord Muruga was born out of those sparks, just like Soorapadman said. That's why, in some scriptures, they say Lord Muruga is Lord Shiva, is part of Lord Shiva, right? It's like, is Lord Shiva himself. So Lord Muruga was taught all the various aspects. And who taught him all this? Lord Shiva himself became his guru. He became his guru and taught him all arts, warrior, how to be a warrior, and all the arts of weaponry. Everything was taught by Lord Shiva. Now he was ready to confront the asuras. And just before he was going to leave, all the devas gave him their weapons and their powers. They came and blessed him. And Mother Parvati gave him the veil. So he attained the veil from Mother Parvati. Now this fierce battle began. The battle is something, when I talk about devas and asuras battle, it's very fascinating. The fierce battle began, and as Lord Muruga traveled through the clouds towards the cities of the asuras, it's described as thunder and lightning. Can you imagine? Now the asura Samharam, right? He was looking out. Why is this lightning? And then he could see some figure, coming towards them. He quickly ran from there and he told Soorapadman about this vision he had. And he warned him, you know what? You have to accept defeat. We're not dealing with anything ordinary here. I think we should all just make peace. Samharam, one of the brothers, he goes and tells Soorapadman. Soorapadman is like, what are you talking about? All the boons that we acquired are for waste? We cut off our limbs and I even jumped and gave my life. All for waste? Why are you bothered? We have got boons. Don't worry, he says. Don't fear. Tarakasura, you go and handle this for now, he says. Tarakasura went. He was fighting with Veerabahu, who was a commander-in-chief of the Kartikeya's army. Kartikeya is another name of Lord Muruga. Now, of course, Tarakasura is very powerful. His magical powers, he trapped Veerabahu and in the Krauncha mountain, and he trapped him there. And Veerabahu was helpless. The commander-in-chief of the Kartikeya army was helpless. The sage Narada saw this and he went and informed Lord Muruga, this has happened. So Lord Muruga got so angry. He hurled his veil, from there. His weapon, the veil. It moved in the speed of light. destroyed the mountain and pierced Tarakasuran and killed him. Grieved, they were all grieving his brothers. They came to know about Tarakasura's death and they were grieving. They were very sad because that was pretty fast. Now Soorapadman was like, this is not okay. We have to do something. Then Simhamukha is like, I'll go, brother, I'm going. So Simhamukha forgot that he wanted to make peace earlier. Now he said, I'm going to go. Now he appeared in front of him and he appeared like a tornado. They say that, about Simhamukha. Simhamukha is very powerful too. He appeared like a tornado and vanquished all the Devas' army. The army. Now, Veerabahu, on the other hand, who was rescued by Murugan earlier, he vanquished Simhamukha's sons. He destroyed all Simhamukha's sons. Devastated by his son's loss, he captures Veerabahu and he ties his hands and feet. When the news goes to Lord Muruga that Veerabahu is again captured, Lord Muruga comes, and when he's coming, it's like a lightning, earthquake. The earth is shaking. Simhamukha can feel the earth underneath him moving in so much of force, like as if something is going to, open up. The earth is going to open up. He could feel the whole earth vibrate. And the asura was really scared. He was so devastated and scared that when he saw Lord Muruga, he immediately did Shashtanga Namaskara, prostrated in front of total surrender. Now, this is a different surrender altogether, okay? He threw all his weapons and he fell at Lord Muruga's feet. And do you know what he did? He started chanting praises. He sang praises of the goddess Shakti. He knew that could calm Lord Muruga. Why? Because that's his mother. So he sang praises of goddess Shakti. Now Lord Muruga was immediately calm, happy. He said, rise, Simhamukha, get up. Your devotion for the mother, I'm very happy, he says. For this, I'll give you a boon, that you will serve my mother, the goddess Shakti, as her vehicle. You see how simple it is? It was so simple. Now we all know how the lion became the Vahanam of the Deva. Simhamukha, he was released of that asura and he became the Vahana of the Devi, Shakti. So that was a demon before, right? Now you all know how the lion came into the scene. So that way, Simhamukha perished. And the new Vahana, the lion, emerged. That was a boon. Now Veerabahu, after all this is done, Veerabahu sends a messenger to Soorapadman. See how many chances the Lord is giving. How many chances the Lord is giving before, going and killing. They give so many chances. Rama sent a doodh, right? How many times to Ravana? Let's make peace. Reform. Open your eyes. Come to me. It's only love. No use. So Veerabahu sent a messenger to Soorapadman saying, let's make peace. You've lost your two brothers. One brother's reformed. Let's make peace. Soorapadman was, no, no peace. I want to defeat you. Come, let's do it. Come for war. Now, so many weapons were clashing against each other. Skulls were crushed and blood was shed. All for one ego, right? And the sixth and final day of the battle was intense. All Soorapadman's evil powers failed at the sight of the Lord Kartikeya's veil, the veil that he holds, that weapon that Mother Parvati, Ambal gave. So powerful. Now, Soorapadman took a monstrous form, huge. So Lord Muruga hurled his veil at him and he became two halves. Now one part became the peacock and the other part became a rooster. So the image, the soul of Soorapadman prostrated and asked for forgiveness to the Lord because he was destroyed. And the Lord, that time, Lord Muruga gave him the boon that the peacock will be his Vahanam forever. And the rooster will be on his flag forever. That's why you see a flag. Lord Muruga carries a flag always with a rooster on it, and the peacock obviously is his Vahanam. See what a boon. Wow. Even though, this is the kindness. Once you fall at the feet of the Lord and say, I'm sorry, forgive me, it's over. Forgiveness granted. And the boon is also granted. It's not just forgiving, it's something, only the Lord can do. That was a mercy. That was the mercy of them. Now, Lord Muruga won and accepted Soorapadman as the Vana and the rooster as his flag on the sixth day. That is the day celebrated as Kanda Sashti. The Kanda Sashti event, the Utsavam, is celebrated with all grandness in Tiruchendur. The whole war is enacted, the whole how the Lord came and destroyed Soorapadman is enacted on the shores of the beach. If you all ever have the time, watch it live. They always telecast it live. It's beautiful on the seashore they enact, because this temple is on the seashore. It's 200 meters away from the seashore, it's beautiful, away from the sea. Beautiful temple, and this Utsavam is beautifully shown. And now after defeating Soorapadman, Lord Indra was so happy with Lord Murugan. He was so happy that he released all the Devas. Everybody were freed, right? They were all prisoners. They were all freed. Now Lord Indra's daughter always longed to marry Lord Murugan. Now we'll talk about that detail next. Devayani. And so she went and told Lord Indra about her feelings for Lord Murugan, and Indra was more than happy to get his daughter married to Lord Murugan. And that's how even in Tiruchendur, they have this Kalyanam, Tirukalyanam of Lord Muruga and Devayani, because it happened right after the war, after he won the war, their marriage happened. So after the Kanda Sashti is Tirukalyanam. So this is how it's in Tiruchendur. And when next session will be about Tiruchendur, and we will be visiting Tiruchendur, and we will be talking about the whole Utsavam in detail. Before that, I wanted to share a very special personal incident regarding Lord Muruga. I think it was about 4 or 5 years, maybe even before that. I had a dream. I've never thought of Lord Muruga as my Ishtadevam or anything. I find all gods very fascinating and I enjoy their avatarams, and they all have something good to give us. So I enjoy watching or reading about all of them. But all of a sudden, one day, I get a dream. It's in the dream, me and my husband, Siva Ganesh, are walking down the street. And suddenly I see an image of a small boy bicycling. It's in a bicycle, He's riding the bicycle fast, but then he's shining like so beautifully. He shines. And then I'm thinking, I tell Siva Ganesh, my God, I see a boy, he's shining. And then I see a feather, peacock feather in his head. I see, oh, Lord Krishna, Krishna, cute Krishna, he's coming. So once he's coming closer and closer, I see that he's holding a small veil. I see a veil in his hand. Then I say, oh, it's not Krishna, sorry, it's Murugan, Murugan. So it's like, as he's coming closer and closer, I'm having this vision of different things. First the peacock in his head, and then I see veil in his hand. And he's a small boy, cute boy. And then when he approaches me so close like this and he's passing me, he looks at me in a very mischief way. The way he looks at me is like, in that side eyes like this. Hey, hi, that kind of thing. And that side eyes, and he's so happy to see me, and I'm happy to see him too. I'm like so happy. I'm like, Murugan, Murugan, and I'm waving. And he goes straight past me, and he stops at a tree, beside a tree behind me, and I turn, and he gets off the bike in a very stylish manner. It's like I remember immediately in my dream. It's like, that how we've all seen how actors are very stylish, right? Some of the actors like Vijay and all that, they have the style. Just like that, he got off his bike in a very stylish manner, and he has both his hands in his hip, and he's standing and looking at me. It's like this, and his veil is also with him. And of course, he is Lord Muruga. He is stylish. Vijay got the style from Murugan only. He initiated the style. He's the one who had it first. So probably he was giving me that message, that, yeah, I'm the style first. I'm this one who's stylish first. So that being said, he stood that way, and all of a sudden he grew bigger into a man. Very handsome. Right in front, of me when I was watching him. From a small boy, he suddenly grew into a handsome man, and still he was having his hand in his hip and he was smiling at me. I was so happy. That was a darshan of Lord Muruga, which I still have in my mind even today. That beauty, that aura, that style, that charm, I cannot forget. It's like etched in my head. And yeah, my dream was gone. I got up, I woke up. But this, yeah, this is a dream. But for me, when gods and all these characters, divine characters come in your dream, it's not a dream. It's reality. When we are living in a dream now, what we are doing now is a dream. Like Ramana Maharshi had said, this is a dream. When you sleep, that's reality. So, that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this session. Jai Nandalala Madhyoli Charanam.